identify their next signing. They make plans for the summer, and Casemiro could still be on the way out as the Turkish transfer window is still open. Harry Kane, could United make a summer move for him as he has a release clause that is relatively low? What is the latest on all of Manchester United's news? What is my thoughts on the ingoings and outgoings that happened at the club? And we will discuss a few more topics like Romano speaking about Chido and Man United's plans for the young star. So let's first of all just talk about this because today is the anniversary of the Munich disaster. And Paul tweeted this, and I thought I'll share this. For anyone that isn't aware, today at Old Trafford, the Munich Memorial starts at 2:40 p.m. under the Munich clock. Also, all fans are invited into the International Suite inside Old Trafford for more tributes after the memorial. So if you are around the area and you want to show your respect, there you go. Obviously, tragic. Now, let's dive into some of the news. Now, firstly, we got Manchester United officially confirming Lisandro Martinez has done his ACL, I think. Manchester United can confirm Lisandro Martinez suffered an injury to his cruciate ligament in Sunday's game against Crystal Palace. Assessment of the injury is ongoing to determine the appropriate course of treatment and the timescale for his rehabilitation. Everyone at Manchester United wishes Lisandro Martinez strength for a successful recovery, and we will be supporting him every step of the way. This is such a blow, man. This is honestly such a blow. And I'm devastated for Leach because he's had that injury problem that he got in Ten Hag's first season. He got over that injury problem, then got injured again because he didn't get over it properly, then got injured again, and then has finally, stayed fit for like 6 months. And I think he was a bit shaky, but I thought the last 5-6 games he's been one of our better players, one of our more important players. He's the only player in our backline that actually spots those runs and actually kind of break lines with those passes and stuff. So it's been a massive loss. And for him to be back to his best and then suffer another injury, and this is one that's going to put him out to, I think, November. I think we'll see him November, December. The thing is, it can take 6 to 12 months. They normally say 9 months on average. Satan, I think, came back in about 7 months. But we're not seeing him until 2 months into next season at least. The earliest we would see him would be September. And considering the injury issues he's had, I know the other injury was his foot, but you'd probably want to wait till October, November. This could even be December plus, which is such a shame. Maybe it will make United act for a left centre-back in the summer market, which I think we needed another centre-back in the summer market anyway. The priority is obviously wing-back, then striker. Laurie Whitwell has confirmed that. He said further reinforcement in the wing-back area is expected. United are exploring a move for Giovanni Quenda at Sporting. We know that this deal is quite close. There's some reports saying there's verbal agreements there. There's sort of a price of the verbal agreement with Quenda. Sporting ready for this deal to happen around 40 million euros, which is about 33 million pounds. There's an expectation this deal will happen. This will be the next deal. This is the next signer they've identified. And Laurie Whitwell also said that United's priority will be a striker in the summer. So it's going to be getting the second wing back and it's going to be getting the striker in, which I think two wing backs, the wing backs are very young and Dorgo and Quenda, which is fine. The striker's got to be more experienced than me. And then we look at the left 10, then we look at the centre mid that's good on the ball, then we look at the centre back that could defend the wide channels. I think that is the way that we're going to work. But there's going to be further reinforcement in the wing back area. It's very obvious we need 2 wing backs. You could even argue 3. But I think we'd probably get 3rd wing back next year and a goalkeeper in 2026. I think the priorities, I think, would be 2 wing backs. We've already got 1. So it would be another wing back. It would be a wide channel centre back. It will be a striker. It will be someone that can play in the 10, and it will be someone that's good on the ball in midfield. There'll be the 5 priorities this year. I'm confident of that. Next year, it could be another wing back. It could be a goalkeeper. It could be another wide channel defender, depending on what happens. But in terms of striker, we've got a bit of talk on Obi Martin, as we've been talking about in the last few shows. Fabrizio Romano was asked about him and what United's plans could be for the star, and they said that United have always seen Obi Martin as part of the future first team squad, so it wouldn't be surprising if he gets a chance from now to the end of the season to join the first team, said Fabrizio Romano. And I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think he's going to start any games anytime soon, but if he had 10 minutes off the bench versus Leicester, I wouldn't be shocked. I think he's someone that we might see make the bench and maybe this season get 1 or 2 10-minute cameos. I don't think anymore. I just think it's someone that could make the bench and get 1 or 2 10-minute cameos this season. I think him, Sekou Kone will be looked at in pre-season. Hayden Hackney, I think, probably has the most chance of coming through because Goboko Konki was getting on the bench and now Leach is injured and Hayden Hackney's a step ahead of Goboko Konki. I think he's probably the one to come through. I think if Mantato and Shea Lacey can stay fit, they'd be ones that would come through next season. I think this season will be keeping them fit. Pre-season, maybe you see them next season. Amit Ibrahimov, Scanlon, Jim Thwaites, JC Fitzgerald, I think would all be watched in pre-season. Even Bianchiri, I think everyone talks about Obi Martin, but Bianchiri is a good player. Obviously, he's out injured. But talking to strikers, this was said by Matt Law. Breaking, Harry Kane has a release clause in his contract will be active during next year's winter window for £54 million. Tottenham have first refusal if they were to meet it. He was available for £67 million in January. He was available in £67 million January 2025. Now, I said I wouldn't be shocked if United moved for Kane. Do I think United moving for Kane is the best decision? No, because he will be 32 in the summer. He's aging. He's a little bit slow for Amorim's system, all of that. But if you could get Harry Kane for under £50 million on a 3-year deal on decent wages, you're not going to say no to it, in my opinion. For me, I think we need to sign a striker that is 26, 27. I'm talking Victor Gyökeres. I think we need a 26, 27-year-old striker in their prime, ready-made. I don't want someone in the 30s. We did that with Casemiro. It went wrong. But I wouldn't be shocked because every other position, I want 20 to sort of 26-year-old players. Striker, I would like a 26-year-old. You can be 25. Just someone that you know is ready now, that's banging it in now. But I do think, I think 54 million is a bit. I think if you can get him under £50 million, Harry Kane, you can get 2-3 seasons out of him, Premier League proven. I'm not completely against that. I do have question marks around if he fits Amorim's system. And obviously the age, and he obviously has good fitness record at the moment, but you know what United are like with injuries. But I think this is one to watch. I think this is one to watch. On low wages, on a 3-year deal, and for under £50 million, I don't say no. But I think he's a little bit old. I think that's a Casemiro repeat, and I think Ineos wants to move away from that. Continuing on, it said that Manchester United and Tottenham are threatening to go head-to-head for the signing of Hayden Hackney. The Middlesbrough midfielder is the star on the shortlist of both clubs and could cost around £20 million. I will say this. You've got Archie Gray, you've got Lucas Verbal, you've got Papsar, you've got Basuma, you've got Bentancur, you've got Maddison, and you've got Kulusevski, whose all best positions are in that midfield three, right? Tottenham. We have Bruno, that we don't know if he's a 10 or a pivot player. Maynard that's looking better as a 10. So that just leaves Ugarte and Collier because Eriksen and Casemiro are going to go to play in the pivot, Ugarte and Collier. Man United need a midfielder a lot more than Tottenham. Man United arguably need 2 midfielders with Casemiro and Eriksen set to go. For me, Tottenham need an experienced winger. Tottenham need full-back cover for Van der Ven and a doggy. That's what Tottenham need. And then they probably look at DM. They've got first choice on Cardozo. I think we could beat Tottenham to Hayden Hackney, if I was going to be honest. But it'll be interesting to see what we do there. From what I've seen of Hayden Hackney, and I'm not going to lie, I haven't watched a lot of him. I have liked him. I obviously enjoyed a little bit and watched a bit of the Middlesbrough Sunderland game. Really good watch, actually, because Chris Rigg as well. But Hayden Hackney, Chris Rigg, Joe Bellingham, all wants to watch. Hayden Hackney more sort of defensive-minded, but I think more of a box-to-box than a DM, actually, in my opinion. I think he could suit Amorim's system well. Could be one to watch. I just think, do we want someone a bit more ready-made? Like, I think Hayden Hackney's great. If you can get Hayden Hackney for 20 million, and then you can get someone that's a bit more experienced in that midfield, that's great. That's 2 midfield signings to replace like Eriksen. But I think we'd need 2 midfielders if Hayden Hackney came in, someone that just brings that little bit more experience. Continuing on, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Besiktas are reportedly interested in signing Manchester United's Casemiro as Turkish clubs continue to do business in the window. There's obviously interest from Turkey in Casemiro. Could Casemiro be on his way to Turkey? I think Casemiro will probably stay put at United to the end of the season. I think we'll look to offload him in the summer. He's very happy not playing, by the way, and that is because he's on over 300 grand a week, and he's very happy sitting on the bench not playing because he's going to have to halve his wages if he leaves. So that's the problem with Casemiro. He's not going to play. Amorim doesn't rate him. The Turkish window's open. They can't afford his wages. We'd have to pay him out. I don't know if Turkey could actually afford to pay up. We might have to let him go for cheap in the summer unless Saudi come back in for him. I think that's the situation with Casemiro. If I'm being totally honest, I don't see him going to Turkey. Look, maybe he's got a role from now until the end of the season, but Collier seems to just sort of take in his cameo minutes. Eriksen gets more minutes than him. I think like time is up for Casemiro, and it's like, mate, you've got to leave now. But the problem is, we gave him a 6-year deal with 300k a week wages. That was a silly mistake. That's why I said Harry Kane. I don't mind giving him a 3-year deal, but I'm talking 5-6-year deals. That's when we make big mistakes, and I think it was out of desperation to bring the player in. But continuing on, this is a summary of the outgoings. Loan watch until the summer. These players we will provide updates on between now and the end of the season on the MUFC MPP Twitter or X accounts, so give them a follow. But we've got Anthony at Real Betis, 1 game, man of the match. Marcus Rashford at Aston Villa, who could make his debut versus Tottenham at the weekend. Tyrone Malacia versus PSV. I really hope he smashes it. I hope all of them smashes it. Dan Burn versus Rotherham, that already got his assist on his debut. Ethan Wheatley for Walsall. So not versus Rotherham, for Robertson. Ethan Ennis for Doncaster. Joe Hugo for Carlisle. Ethan Ennis for Cheltenham. Louis Jackson and Sam Mantha for Tranmere Rovers. So, ones to watch going on there. And then in terms of the business, since Ineos have took over, we've got a summary here. Xerxes, I think he could be on the way out in the summer. Lenny Yora, I think will be a good deal, but I want to see him central centre-back, not wide centre-back. The problem is De Ligt also plays central centre-back and so does Maguire. De Ligt's been fine. I think De Ligt's solid. Like, he's not a special, but he's not bad. He's solid. I think he's our best. People saying Maguire's been better. No, De Ligt's been better this season. Mazraoui's great when he plays right centre back or in a back four. Mazraoui at wing back, awful, but that's not his fault. That was misprofiling. Do you know what I mean? Agate, I think will be fine. Aiden Heaven, happy with that for the future. Patrick Dorgu, very happy with that. That's the first Amorim signing. The business hasn't been great because you got to think they sacked Ten Hag after buying most of these players, but I think individually, this is better business than the windows before, but I think Xerxes might go, and then there's question marks around, building for the system. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.